Hi there, YouTubers. Very brief making do update, but it's such a beautiful day, and look at the colour of the trees. I try and appreciate it. It's not easy. But anyway, I was in London the other day, and I was going to do a making do update from the 39th floor of Tower 42 in the City of London, the square mile, the big financial district of Europe, really. It's the powerhouse that has made this country so wealthy, and I was actually looking for a location for a Scrap Heap interview because this is the 10th year of Scrap Heap, and there's some interviews with various celebrities who like the show. A friend of mine works there, and I believe it's a hedge fund or a bank or something. There's lots of people sitting in front of really cool looking computer screens. I went to one of those years ago. I had a cousin that worked in the city. Probably 20 years ago, and I went there and they all had little television screens, you know, like those sort of old computers with black screens and green type. The new stuff, the financial trading software, it looks like MySpace. It's just hundreds of different colours and things flashing up. There's video in the corner there and video in the corner there, and you know, those things that you see going along the bottom, all the numbers, all that stuff. But there's tons of it, hundreds of windows open all at once on big flat screen displays like that thick, no wires, amazing. And they've all got little sort of phones that go like that, and they're on the phone all the time. It was really quiet. There wasn't shouting. It wasn't one of those sort of trading floors. But the 39th floor, really tall and amazing views. And I thought, oh God, if I could stand in front of one of the windows and do a YouTube from there, it would be a bit different. And it just wasn't going to happen. So this is now the 11th month of making do. And as you can see, I'm really smartly dressed. This is getting quite, it is very difficult now. There's no point denying it. Stamps have run out, batteries have run out, everything's run out. I will admit right here and now that I do have a wish list on Amazon. I haven't bought it, but I've added to it. It's actually not expensive things. It is things like batteries, battery chargers, microphone holders, you know, all sorts of weird little gizmos like that I think, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I can get them? But I'm really glad I've done it now. It has been absolutely amazing, and I'm in the middle of writing my book about it, and that's been, you know, stuff's come up that I didn't even think about my family, about my mum and dad, who that's where I get the term making do from, because they all were always making do. And I wasn't, you know, I don't come from a poor background. I'm not going to pretend for a minute. We weren't wealthy, but perfectly, you know, adequately cared for. And we lived in a nice house, and we had a nice garden, blah, blah, blah. But they never bought new stuff. My parents didn't do it. They just didn't buy new clothes or new things, ever. I never had a new pair of jeans or clothes till I was about 16, when I'd done, you know, I'd earned some money and I bought some jeans, new jeans. I always remember it, because they were so stiff. I always had my brothers. I've got a brother who's 3 years older than me, so I had all his cast-offs. That's how people did it. So I write this column for the Ecologist magazine, which has been really good, because what it's made me do is read the Ecologist magazine. And I can now understand why they wanted a sort of humorous column in there, because it does sort of lighten the tone of it, because, you know, they're not po-faced or miserable, but it's just devastating. The news is just appalling. And even if you take into account that they've got a slant on it, and they're always going to go for the very most desperate, you know, unbelievably depressing stories about, you know, computer recycling, please, and the waste and the chemical pollution and the, you know, it's just so, even if you go, only 10% of what they say is accurate, that's more than enough. Even if 1% was accurate and the rest of it was all complete political spin, that 1% is devastating. It's just appalling. But it is so tough. I mean, all I've done this one tiny little thing of not buying anything new for a year. I mean, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. And it's, however you try and be an ethical consumer, I mean, the two words ethical and consumer, I think, just don't go together. You can't be an ethical consumer. And the very term consumer, I find really offensive. In the 70s, the term was that when the housewife sees the prices of our carrots, she's going to be pleased. Well, now it's everyone knew that was sexist, because men buy carrots too, so they changed it, but they've changed it to the consumer. I don't want to be a consumer. How about a citizen, a member of a society? What about if we were all citizens instead of consumers? I don't want to be a consumer anymore, and I really am one. You know, I may have taken a year off, but I know I'm absolutely in the middle of it. I am a total classic consumer. Anyway, that's my thought for the day. My thought for the day is, don't be a consumer, be a citizen. And if you have been, thank you for watching.
I just wanted to quickly add this. This is my friend Trevor Stewart, an extraordinary performer, a very old friend of mine, and this is him with his rear bicycle lamp in his mouth when we went out for dinner after I went up the big tower.
That is just extraordinary.